Yo, Coach Marshall kicking knowledge, higher ed collage, mind open wide, thoughts bridge the mileage, whistle round the neck, wisdom in the flex, podcast vibes, breaking through the plex. From court to the board, lessons never hoard, grit and grind hustle, hear that lion's roar. More than a coach, stories to encroach, life's game plan, he the master with the approach. More than a coach, Coach Marshall be the guide, lessons for life, take it all in stride. Podcast dropping gems, knowledge nationwide, together we rise, unity can't divide. Life's more than X's and O's, destinies composed, breaking every chain, no limits to the flows. Strategy and passion, top tier fashion. Marshall on the mic, lights, camera, action.
What's up, y'all? This your boy, Coach Marshall, from the More Than the Coach podcast. Hey, glad to be back with another powerful show. Today, y'all, I got a powerful conversation I'm going to have with my brother, my longtime friend, Mr. Jody Nunn. But y'all already know, before we get into it, I got to always get some thanks to some people and appreciation. So first and foremost, y'all, make sure y'all tune in to the Mr. and Mrs. Marshall podcast every Sunday at 8 p.m., where it's all about life, love, and relationships. So y'all definitely check it out. Another shout out to my little bro, Danye Jones, and the Something Every Yay podcast. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to him on Thursday nights. Hey, brother be dropping a lot of knowledge, having some good shows and everything. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. So y'all, with no further delay, I'm going to get into it, because that's what it is. We're going to, hit this topic real hard. It's something new and exciting to me. So y'all help me welcome my brother, Mr. Jody Nunn, to the stage. How you doing today, bro?
All right, bro. How about yourself?
Man, I'm all right, man. Just, maintaining, getting better on this cold day out here, So, man, before we get going into everything that we do, bro, man, I got a couple things, I want to ask you about. First off, what you think about this right here, man? What you think? You think this is a political move, or what's going on?
I think it was something, because it was out less than 24 hours and back on. So, but I wasn't the ones that was addicted to it.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it some and I enjoyed it, but I wasn't. Yeah, it's something, because it was back on too fast.
Yeah, it was back on too fast. So it's back now?
Oh yeah, it was back yesterday.
Oh, okay then. Oh, I think
The
it's
same day it went out, it came back on.
No, I think it's political, because I deleted it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, that was my sign to get off. But well, it is what it is. So, man, you finna have a deep conversation. But I wanted to play this before we get into our conversation, man, just to set the mood for what we finna go and talk about. Check this out, bro.
Oh, I wish you were still. No more pain and no more sorrow. This don't feel real. Wish it was more time I could borrow, so you'll see. Tears roll down when I think of your face. Oh, they never said it would be easy, but I can't stop crying. Sometimes I wish I had me a genie so I can stop time. I never asked the Lord for strength until I lost mine. I still hear your voice pushing me forward when I wanna stop trying. I hear you say I'm in a better place, so be strong. There'll be better days. These hard times won't last long. Baby, wipe your face. Oh, I wish heaven had a phone to hear you one more time, but I know you want us to move on. So hard to say goodbye, like a piece of my heart up there in the sky. Oh, I need one more hug, I'm missing your smile. Just the thought of your name bring me down.
It's a powerful song right there, bro.
It is. Yep.
You know, and that's what's leading us on tonight when we having this conversation, man. Our loved ones that we lost, you know, our friends, our family, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the conversation, man, that I wanted to have with you tonight, man. And, you know, we touch bases on and man. Woo. So first off, what you think about that cut by Anthony Q?
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, love it, man.
Because it is, you know, I sit back sometime and I always wish, like, man, I wish it was a phone where I can call up to heaven and just talk to some of my loved ones, man. You know what I'm saying? And just to say hi, or hear that voice, you know what I'm saying? And I know I played that, but let me hit this real quick and see what.
Who do you wish was still here?
Oh, I wish you were still. No more pain and no more sorrow. This don't feel real. Wish it was more time I could borrow, so you tears roll down when I think of your face. Oh.
Talk. But you know, just show some of my loved ones too, and our brothers Tinsley and Vaughn, you know, that's gone, man. So, man, what's a favorite memory of one of your loved ones that you lost, bro?
Man, ironically, man, some of my favorite memories are my mother and father. Since I lost both of them, is some of the arguments and funny conversations they would have around there, man. I would be embarrassed, like my friends, y'all be around because you know, but all y'all, everybody would just laugh at them, and it was so funny when they argue, man. You say it's like one of the funniest couples, and you know, I used to love it, man. And my mother, man, she was a ride or die, boy.
Oh yeah.
Whatever I need, like one time, I had went into the store, and it was some dudes that I got into it previously. And Steve was in the car with my mother, and he told her what happened. He came in that liquor basket with a pistol in her hand, had it out in her hand, ready for it. Yeah, she was playing. Yeah,
man.
Yep.
Well, you know, my favorite memory with moms was we was finna get into it with some guys at your house at the party, and we walked in, and moms was like, "Here you go, eat," and gave you 2 of them. It said, "Go handle your business."
Yep.
You know, we all look like, huh? We got to go fight. But she ain't want no fighting going on. She wanted to clear it out quick. That was, you know, but that was just something, you know, that it was, you right. That was a great memory, man. You know, just sitting around listening to your mama tell stories too, bro. You know, and you know, I love the way I used to call your pops, you know, BB King, because I could never understand.
He sure look like him.
I mean, not BB King, James Brown, because I couldn't understand him sometimes. You know, and he be talking real fast. You know, so that's cool though, bro. That's all right, man. Man, so how do you deal with? Because I'm still you dealing with it longer than I've been dealing with it. But how do you cope with when you had them days, bro, missing moms and your dad?
You know, I remember my mother first passed. Everybody came around, all y'all. Vaughn came over. His mother had just passed not long before mine. And I asked him, I was like, man, Vaughn, do it ever get better? You ever get over there? He's like, nope, you never get over it. He's like, days get easier as time go by. It sink down deeper, but you never get over it. But it was hard, man, getting by because really, I didn't even grieve, man, for years. I just had one really good hard cry, probably about 6 months ago.
Wow.
And she died in 2012. I think in the moment when it happened, I was trying to be strong for everybody else. Because when she was in the bed dying, you know, she always took care of everybody. I whispered in her ear, you know, go ahead, be at peace. I take care of everybody. And I think I carried that burden a long time. Sometimes it get heavy because they like just never get tired of everybody calling you and burdening you with the problems, everything going on. I said,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm just doing what I promised her that I would do. But sometimes I would hang up the phone, the burden and the heaviness of everybody's on me had me in tears, but I have to, deal with it and do what I told her I would do.
Mm.
And it's easy when I can have y'all talk to y'all, but when you have them quiet moments alone and better sit and think, that's when it really hits you and your mind starts thinking about it when you're not occupied and busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are tough moments.
That is true, man. Because like I said, bro. Ooh. And then the sad part in your case, you being the youngest, but
Hmm.
you holding it down. And looking at mom's picture, man, wow, all your sisters resemble your mom.
That's what I thought when I was looking at them too. Yeah.
All of them, man. I was like, wow, that's amazing. That gene is strong, you know. But I know, like you mentioned, that it get easier. Vaughn said that. I don't know. It's been 3.5 years for me. And bro, it still feel like yesterday. Like
Hmm.
Friday, it was his birthday, so I went out to the cemetery, man, and I sat there, man. I took him a Pepsi, because that's his favorite drink, and I sat there with him, bro, and talked to him, and just asked him, "Am I doing right? By my siblings, by the way that he would want me to do things." You know, it's like we was on another show. We talked about mama boys and stuff. I was a dad boy. You know what I'm saying? And it was just one of the hardest things ever. And even out at the cemetery, I didn't even want to leave at that time, because I was like, man, it's just hard even talking about it though. But
One
man,
thing I know is I know how proud he was. I got to see him with you at your highest moment when he's sitting there with his arm around you after winning the
man,
games there. So I was there at
man,
that game and watching him. Yeah. And so
bro,
he got to see, and I know he's proud of you.
bro,
I see it in his eyes
that was the last time he that was the last time he seen me coach in person. It's crazy you talk about that,
Mhm.
but if you look, wrong way. There's a picture of me and him at that game. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
but that was his last time, and I know even when he took his last breath, like you said, I was there. Well, I made it in the house. I didn't make it to the room, but he had on the Bridgeport shirt. You know what I'm saying? And out of all the
Yeah.
clothes that he could have had on, they told me that he wanted that shirt on that day.
Yeah.
So that let me know that dad
Hmm.
was proud of what I was doing. You know.
And he know you was ready, even because he prepared you. God, I think about that true saying that was in the Black Panther movie, T'Challa Daddy. He said, any father that's not prepared his kids for his death has failed them as a parent.
Mm.
And he had you prepared. He ready. You could
Yeah.
carry on, do it.
Yeah. It's because it's like you said too, bro. I remember I had to take him to the hospital probably the last 2 weeks of his life. And I never forget sitting in the hospital room with him. And I told him, I said at that time, I said, Dad, I forgive you. And I said, and you can go ahead and, I don't want to see him in that pain no more.
Yeah.
And I never forget that. And he just looked at me and cried, never said a word. Then, of course, we ended up losing him the next week, so I knew that was my peace with him was made and everything. Even though, we selfish, we don't want to see him go. But at the same time, we don't want to see him go through what they was going through, fighting what they was fighting and everything, you know. So do you ever feel that you need to talk to like a therapist or anything?
Oh yeah, and I have. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
It's
I've
something
been to therapy.
for real. Did it help?
It did.
For real?
Yeah. Some people, I think in the Black community, we grow up thinking that therapy is a negative thing. Like you crazy if you go see a psychiatrist. But yeah, it really helped because since 2012, I lost both parents, Vaughn. I lost four siblings. That was,
Mm-hmm.
from my father from his first marriage. And it's like we lost a lot, man. Your father and
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Smithers, who I was real close with. It's like
Yeah.
I lost a lot, so I needed that therapy.
Mm. Well, that's something there too, man. I might have to look into that. I did, of course, doing my research. If it is somebody out there that's dealing with grief and loss, here's a hotline scrolling across the bottom: 1-866-903-3787. So if you need to talk to somebody, if you ain't got people like I have you to talk to, and Dre, you know what I'm saying, and of course my wife, I don't know how I would think I would get through a lot of the things, you know what I'm saying, what we deal with, for real. Because that's a it's a tough situation, a tough topic. I mean, I knew I wanted to talk about this, but I didn't want to talk about it with nobody but you, because I knew me and you would open up and be real about how we feel and everything, you know. So besides that, man, ooh, that's kind of deep though right now, bro.
And honestly, Kev, as men, a lot of times we don't show it. We try to be strong. We try to hide it and don't let people see our pain. Don't express it, and we keep
Hmm.
it bottled up and inside, and it build up, and that's pressure. We have
Yeah,
to release it.
that's true. And so you say that too. Here goes some I came out with and found. It say how men deal with grief. We bottle up our emotions. We don't talk to nobody or don't say a lot until it's time to blow up. We use distractions. Some people use substance, and some people are risk taking. Like they do dumb stuff. Physical symptoms. I never do that. And then just action focused things, where just people just kind of like always doing something to keep your mind off for it. But it's like you said, at the end of the day, when we at home or you in that car by yourself, it come up and hit you. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about it and deal with it in that way.
Hmm.
You know. So I was going to ask you this right here. Do you agree with this? The 3 C's of grief is choose, connect, and communicate.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of time we got to choose when and where and who we want to talk to about it. Connecting, I really only can connect to somebody probably that done dealt with that. And then, of course, communicating is something like we doing now. Because one thing, in the past, when you lost your father, Vaughn had lost his um, dad. I think D had lost his mom. You know how you get people say, "Man, I'm sorry. I know how you feel." No, you don't.
Right.
You know, if you ain't experienced that loss, you'll never know that feeling. And that's one thing I hate. Just say, "Hey, I'm praying for you," and let it go that point. And that's something I try to do too when, you do console people and stuff. I would never say I know how you feel because you don't know. That's a that's a whole different feeling to lose a loved one that close. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is. I would say, I'm sorry for your loss. If anything I can ever do for you, need to talk. I'm here for you, whatever, anytime, any place. But when you want somebody to say, they will say that, oh, I know how you feel. No, you don't. If you haven't been
No,
through it, you don't.
no, 'cause that's a tough, deep situation, bro. My heart go out for everybody that's struggling and that's dealing with the loss of a loved one. You know, even ooh, I don't even know. That's hard though. So I gotta ask you this though. You ever been in this stage since you lost your loved one?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I've been in that stage since I lost my mother, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember at one point, Nikki had came to visit from Texas, and I had some Ambien I was taking from the I got prescribed from the VA, and I was drinking like beer and stuff at the same time. And
Mm.
I was like, man, I was almost out of there. But Nikki, I scared Nikki really bad. She like, please do ever take these again and do that. And I haven't since that day. I was just in such a bad state, man, trying to depress and trying to numb it all, and didn't think about the effects of mixing them pills and alcohol together.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they
And
say too, bro. They say most men, we turn to alcohol and drugs, when we dealing with stuff like that, man. And then, of course, always, I never contemplated suicide, but it was times where I was like, man, he the only one understood me, so I want to be with him, and that's why that song played at the beginning was so powerful to me, because like I always say, and he make a comment in there about wish it was a phone where you can call heaven, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that depression is real. That's real hard when you're going through dealing with the loss of your loved one and everything, But these are, wrong one. I'm sorry, but it said these things may help men when we dealing with grief. It's like you said, talking about it with a counselor. This is something that I do, writing a journal. Actually, the reason why I got started podcasting. Instead of writing, I talked to my phone and recorded myself and made it a podcast. Always staying active, and I think that's why I coach uh, basketball and football as long as I did. Of course, taking care of ourselves, which we got to do, and then memorializing our loved ones. With me, I got blankets, I got pictures, everything all around me and my pops and my other loved ones that I lost. So, that I guess that's my comfort to keep me close. What kind of things you do for yourself?
I like to get out. I go fishing a lot. That's something me and my mother used to do. We go fish. That's why I love it so much, and I would do it. And I go to my bingo. You know what I'm saying? I do that. It's
There you
funny, Kev,
go.
how for a while you couldn't think about your loved one without crying. But now I can think about them and laugh at the good times. I can remember more of them and have the more the fond memories and think about it. 'Cause that's what they would, they would want us to. They would want us to dwell. They want us to live. I
Yeah.
remember my mother one time, Kev, she was crying and I was, asking what's wrong. At that time, my mother had died and all her siblings.
Mm.
And we was like, what's wrong? She's like, I just don't have anybody. All my family is gone. We was like, no, you got us. She like, I know I got y'all. She's like, but y'all got each other. She's like, everybody I know is gone. Y'all lived her friends, all her siblings, and she always told us one of y'all's gonna be last, and one of y'all gonna be first. So one of y'all gonna be the first one to go and just be there for each other.
Mm. That's powerful, man. Look at that. Your mom's had a way with words, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that make you sit back and think. And I looked at that too because I went to lunch with my siblings the other day after we left the cemetery, and just sitting back looking at them, it's like, that selfishness kick in. Like, I don't want to lose now one on 'em, even though sometimes they can get on my nerves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like even having the phone conversation before we talk with my brother's wife, it's like real powerful, man. And I know that as the oldest, he would want me to be a certain way. So, I call myself Baby Bubba sometimes. You just heard that for the first time. So I had to do the things that, Bubba would do in those situations, whether it's giving them a stern talk, if I can financially help them and stuff like that. So that's cool. Hey, we're going to take a quick break for one of my sponsors. Know something new I'm doing in 2025. So we're going to be right back in a sec, hey. And remember, if you go to Demon Proof Apparel and you enter the code M.T.A.C, you get additional 10% off whatever you order. So y'all go support Demon Proof Athletic Wear. That's one of my new sponsors, man, for 2025. Something I'm trying to do and grow this empire of Marshall Media and everything that we doing here, man. But man, so how would you want people to support you when you're going through your moments, man? Like your family. how could they support you in case if they didn't know what Jody would want? What would you want them to do to help you, man?
It's funny because my family, they know when something wrong.
Mm.
They sense it. They'll talk to me like they knows the tone of my voice or in my silence. They like, what's wrong? It's like, oh, that I'm good. It's like, no, you're not. You're not all right. I can tell. I know you can't. You can't fool me. I know you're not all right. They be
Wow.
like, just talk to me, just vent. Sometimes you want a family member just to listen. You don't have to respond. Just listen. Let me get off my chest and say how I'm feeling, whatever everything. Sometimes just a hug is good.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Because
true.
sometimes it had got to a point where almost I questioned God. I like, man, how much more do I have to withstand? How many more people got to lose? I lost so many people. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, lost, remember losing Candy, people that I loved on my white side, one of my favorite aunts, her two brothers. It's like, man, I seen so much death. I was just tired of going to funerals. I said I was never going to funerals unless somebody's really close to me. I wasn't doing another. I had went so many times.
That's so true, man. Yeah, you hit it. I just went to one of my former players' mom passed away, and my anxiety kicked in real bad because it was at the same place my dad's funeral was. But before I walked through them doors, I just had to ask God to give me the strength because I knew going in there, because he had already called me and was like, you better be here, coach. I need you. And you know me, I love the kids. So I went, and it was the hardest thing, but I went, and I was kind of proud of myself, bro, because I made it through. But that whole time when I was there, I listened to the good word. I watched him, made sure he was good, but I also seen my pops that whole time. And it bothered me so bad that after a while I had to get up and leave because I couldn't, I couldn't take it no more. But man, it was just, it be like that though, man. And I think a lot of people don't realize what we go through as men. They see the big posture and, oh yeah, them big U's right there. But they don't understand on the inside, man. A lot of us are broken. You know what I'm saying? We put on that thing for our family and our close friends, but there's a lot of us really broken on the inside, bro. So I'm gonna have to take your advice though, and I'm gonna have to go get some kind of help. Of course we deal with the military people, but you know how that go. We won't even talk about that, talking to them doctors and whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do that, man, because I guess I need it.
Man, I bet when you walked in the church with your player, I bet you had that same tight feeling in your chest that we just talking about when you went to the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause every time I walked in paradise, somebody's funeral, because my mother and father was there, I had that feeling like I was re-entering that ceremony all over again.
And you see it over and over. You know what I'm saying? And it made me like replay that whole funeral in my head
Mm-hmm.
again. You know, I remember somebody asked me, said, "Why did you walk out when they closed the casket on your dad?" And I just told him, I said, "Man, first off, that was the last time I'll physically see him. Even though I didn't want to see him that way, but that was the last time I physically see him. And I just had to get out of there, clear my head, bro. I ain't want nobody around me, near me, because it's tough. It's tough. So I really feel, for people that, because like you said, we were kind of raised in our own way by our parents because they more old school. We were raised to deal with certain things in different ways compared to people today. I don't think some of the youngsters today could deal and cope the way we cope with things. I think I go back to the drugs, the substance abuse, and all the radical living. I think guys like us, we just shut down to our own, get in our box. Like I always tell my family, when I'm in my box, leave me alone. you know, I mean, I think that's just how I do it. I listen to a lot of music because I know my pops was a music head, and I think that's where I get it from. You know, now I sit back sometime and I hear my kids, especially my oldest two, playing music that we used to listen to.
Yeah.
You know, I came downstairs the other day, heard my son listening to Lisa Fisher. How can I ease the pain? I'm like, what you know about that? Man, Dad, this the joint. I like this. So, you know, I just started laughing and things like that. I used to do with my pops too. So that was just kind of funny to me, man. For real. So what advice would you give a young person though, that's going through the loss of a loved one that don't know how to cope?
Don't think that you're doing something different or something wrong because you're crying. Let it out. Crying is a weakness. Is a strength. Is you releasing some of the grief and pain that's in you.
Mm,
And if you ever feeling like you want to harm yourself, do something, give it somebody you love. Talk to them. Let them know how you feel because somebody else in your family feeling the same way that you are. They
mm,
just expressing it different from you. Everybody experience grief, and grief is natural. So don't
mm.
think that is, don't think that that's wrong.
That's true. I like that though. Do you and your siblings ever sit down and just, reminisce and laugh or the good times y'all had?
We do it all the time. We do it probably weekly. We sit around and be on because a lot of us get on a call together, all of us, like all seven of us, and we'll laugh and talk about the good times and the times that
Mm,
we had with them
that's cool,
and
man.
how funny they were. I used to listen to her favorite song, Kia. Her favorite song, Gladys Knight, The Best Thing That Happened to Me.
Mm,
I used to listen to that and give me a good cry in, right, man. To get that release, you know what I'm saying, to cry. And now I can listen to it and enjoy the song.
bro, dang, that's why we brothers. My pops had a favorite jazz song. Him and my uncle, his baby brother, used to listen to that passed away, and it was called "Way Back Home" by the Crusaders. You got to listen to it, bro.
All right.
I'm gonna find and send you the link. But bro, every time when I first used to listen to it after he passed, it used to break me down. Now all I can do is sit back and when I listen to it, I think of them two dancing to it. You know, these two big old men dancing to this jazz song and playing the saxophone and it's just that's funny that you say that because I do that a lot too, man. I had to do that. Wow, man.
We
It,
just said dancing. You made me reflect back to me and my mother slow dancing at my wedding. Man, somebody got a picture of it.
wow. Man, this is old throwback right here though.
Yeah.
You and Bill. And you and Bill, y'all must look alike, man.
Hmm.
Back then. But this one was my favorite though. Look at Private Ig.
Yep, I just came from basic training.
Hey, and I remember that because I used to mess with Bill and call him paid in full. The dudes all paid in full back
Yeah.
then. You know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
But yeah, man. So that's been cool, bro. I'm really glad that me and you sat and had this conversation though about this. Um, learning how to just cope and talk, man. It's like you said though, the biggest thing is, man, we have to talk about it. We have to enjoy those moments that we had with them, because those are the moments that we have to treasure. You know what I'm saying? And man, is there anything that you would like to say before we get ready to get out of here?
Like when you're going through and you're grieving, just know that you're not gonna stay there forever. Experience it, go through it. It's gonna help you.
Hmm.
Moments that make you cry right now, later on you can be able to laugh about and smile when you think about those memories. 'Cause when it first happened, you can't think about them without crying. But as
Hmm.
time come, you're gonna be able to laugh. I used to think there's no way I can live without my mama.
Hmm.
But one day I woke up and realized I was living. I was carrying on still.
Hmm.
So just know that like they say, time heals all wounds. It might not heal it, but it sinks a little bit deeper that you're able to deal with it.
Hmm. That's powerful. And we know we got guardian
We got each
angels
other.
watching over us, bro. For real. They got Mr. and Mrs. Banks. They got my pops. And then, of course, all our other loved ones and family and friends, man. Woo, bro, this
And
was
you
this
know
was
what, man? It's
good.
funny. All our parents, loved our friends. I say, like my parents love y'all, y'all love us. Like we always like they sons.
Yeah, you don't get that no more.
Mm-mm.
You don't get that no more. I know I got a lot of extra sons from my son, and getting kids I coach, but you don't get what we had growing up. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what our young coach are missing. They missing seeing the interactions of a mom, an old school mom compared to the new wave moms right now. Which I ain't knocking none of these new moms or the newer grandmas, but it ain't the same as the old school grandma
Nope.
and mama love, for real. But it's like you said though, man, we're gonna get through it. We're gonna keep pushing. Man, bro, I appreciate you taking the time out to have this conversation with me, man, and actually help me today.
One other thing, you
Me.
can have a good village. If we all got a good village, we can talk to each other.
That's
Because like
true.
D experienced it, you experienced, I experienced, and even Andre on a certain level because he lost Candy, and Candy was a father to him. So
That's right.
we all got each other we can speak to.
That's right. And that is a strong point. You got to have a big circle or a tight circle around you when you are going through that. Because not only I got y'all outside y'all, I got I call my little bro Reggie Baldwin, who's dealing with some stuff right now with his mom, and my prayers out to him, and I hope everything work out all right for them. And even some other people I know that's family members going through some things. So like I just tell them, just love on them, cherish them, because when they gone, it hurt, and it hurt like hell.
Yeah, but people send a prayer out there for Brian Matthews and Keisha Matthews, who buried their father this weekend. So we know what they feel like, what they're going through right now, so they can use that strength and prayers.
That's right, most definitely, and that's to anybody that's going through, right now at this time, man. So, my brother, it was a blessing to have you on tonight with me, and man, I look forward to. We're gonna kick it anyway outside the show. But and I want to tell you, I seen you got that bingo shirt on. You must have won that. Oh no, you ain't get that one.
No, they give them to you every time you go.
Oh, okay.
I never won it. Just Leslie had before, but I haven't.
Man, I'm gonna have to go and me and my wife gonna have to go with y'all one of these bingo trips, man. We getting old. I can't go.
Y'all would enjoy it, man. They got one on Valentine's weekend.
Oh yeah. What we doing Valentine's weekend?
It's not actually on Valentine's Day. I think it's on maybe the 15th or whatever. Something.
Yeah, I think Valentine's fall on the weekday this year.
Yeah.
So okay, well, most definitely, bro. We gonna get together, man, and we gonna chop it up after this show. I'll make sure I hit you up and give you a call, man. I thank you again. I appreciate you for coming on the More Than the Coach
no doubt.
podcast with me, man. And until next time, man, it's your boy Coach Marshall. That's my guest, Jody Nunn. Y'all be easy. Peace.
Step into the zone where we elevate minds. More than just a coach, we're breaking the bonds. Lessons to inspire and lift you off the ground. In the sound we redefine the way we're found. Tune in, turn it up, let the vibe explode. Knowledge drops heavy on this winding road. More than a coach, we're a force on the rise. Busting through limits, reach for the skies. Each episode of journey, take a leap with me. Building greatness together, we're born to be free. We're chasing the dream, seasoned with passion, we're more than a team.